All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, my locker room youth movement. Producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds here with me on a rainy Sunday, a little dreary Sunday, but we need the rain. The weather's been great. Right now we have a text board question up. What story is more important to the Phillies' success? Bryce Harper's power surge, Johan Rojas's electric debut, or Taijuan Walker's season turnaround? Is league-leading 11 wins, 609-403-0973. Now it's time to go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers. A reminder you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Sign up now for the 12th annual Hero Walk and Run on the Ocean City Boardwalk Sunday, October 15th. Go to herocampaign.org to register today for the Hero Campaign's biggest fundraiser and help them prevent drunk and impaired driving. That's herocampaign.org. Let's go to the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline and welcome in former Phillies pitcher and our good friend Tommy Green. Good morning, T. Green.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Well, you know what a difference a day makes. You know, you get two big wins in a doubleheader, and we're dancing on we're dancing on our own. We're dancing on our own.
I know that's you, though, Billy. We needed those wins yesterday. I was telling somebody yesterday. I said they need to win both games today. They got to find a way to do it because they were on a little bit of a slide going into the All-Star break and then lose coming out of the All-Star break. So it was good to see them take that first game and then cap it off with the win last night.
All right, Tommy, we have our text board question. What story is more important to the Phillies' success? Bryce Harper's power surge, Johan Rojas's electric debut, or Taijuan Walker's season turnaround? It's league-leading 11 wins. Now, he's in his last 7 games, Tommy, 7-0. His last 7 starts, 7-0, 44 innings pitched, 9 earned runs, 42 Ks, 15 walks with an ERA of 1.84. What says Tommy Green?
Oh, man. I mean, you hit on 3 things that is the team. It's awesome to see them doing that. But the one that stands out is obviously the pitching. Pitching's going to win it for you in defense. So pitching to see Mr. Walker do what he's doing is exactly what the Phillies need. Somebody to be hot like he is and like that, and give the chance for the rest of the guys to get, to find their stride a little bit more. Nola, Wheeler, and keep fighting that battle and hopefully find that consistency we need them to do. Hopefully it starts today with Wheeler.
Last night, my whole family, like 16 of us, are sitting around the big living room watching the TV, and after the game, I said that question to my family. They all of them. No, Johan Rojas is. It's great to see, and we obviously like that he's having a great debut, but. That could change. Yeah. Baseball, that could change in a moment, and people get emotional. I think what Walker has done, I think, has solidified this pitching staff, who in the beginning of the season, they didn't have good numbers. As a complete unit, they've turned it around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we've talked about it all year, what the importance of pitching is. And it's great to have offense. Everybody wants to see offense, and that's what, Sadie speaks, the chicks dig, right? They love the offense, love the home runs, love the run scored and stuff like that. But what it comes down to is pitching. If you're letting in more than you're driving in, you're losing.
Absolutely.
So when it comes down to pitching and defense, and to have somebody that's rolling like that, but you really we really need to keep it going and find ways to keep whoever it is, the combination of any 3 guys going good each time around the rotation, that we can find a way to win those 3 games, during that 5-game span. You're winning. It adds up at the end of the year. You start separating yourself from other people because you're winning 3 out of 5 games every time. And every now and then you might win 4 out of 5. Yeah. So,
yep.
So I mean, that's what we need to happen, and to get on that consistent roll with the rest of the guys, and Ranger Suarez pitched well. I mean, he's had that knack of giving up the long ball, walking a couple guys in the wrong spot, and it's the last 2-3 starts. It's caught him, But we found a way to help him out and overcome that, and that's what a team does.
Hey, Tommy Green, this is Andrew Leeds. And back to the side of the ball that the chicks dig, as you put it. So Bryce Harper obviously ended the drought last night. He got that home run. That was one of the other sides of the question about Bryce Harper's offense.
Schwarber. I mean, Schwarber got off the schneid kind of,
Yeah, Schwarber has had a great
five
outing.
RBIs in the last.
Got a base hit.
Five RBIs in 2 games, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my question.
He actually got a base hit other than a home run.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about that a minute ago. So my question is, you say the pitching is more important, but how important do you think it is for Bryce Harper to start heating up on the offensive side of the ball, getting that long ball going like he did yesterday?
Well, I love the long ball. The guy's hitting 300. I'd rather see him hit with runners on, no matter if it's a home run. I'd rather see him gap to gap, driving the ball, hitting it hard. It's going to happen. As long as he's hitting the ball hard. You can't try to hit home runs. You got to let it happen. He put a good swing on the ball yesterday and see what happened. He didn't try to lift it out of there. That ball was smoked. He hit that ball. That was more of a line drive type home run than one of those big arching ones up there, that you're trying to lift and majestic style. He hit that ball hard. And that's the product of him doing the work day in and day out, trying to stay on the ball, not pull off of it, and put a good swing on it, and hit those type of line drives. Just hit it hard, staying up the middle. If he's staying up the middle like that and not pulling off of it, he's going to do some damage. He can get hot because he's not going to do nothing but get stronger, I think, towards the end of the year, when his army – because he's still not that far off that big surgery, but he's working hard and playing and swinging every day and rehabbing, trying to get on the field. You got to take your days off sometimes and let it rest. Sometimes that day off is a huge thing sometimes. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep it up and keep that stroke going like he did yesterday. That swing is right where he needs to be right there. If he can duplicate that.
Tommy, I've been thinking about the past few days, and, this Phillies team, they have more than enough talent. They obviously have more than enough money invested into this talent. But, we've been talking about Kyle Schwarber needing to move to DH, and when you saw him at DH in the first game, it really looked like this team was clicking. Do you think that once Harper gets to first and Kyle Schwarber full-time goes to DH, that this team doesn't need any more help, or do you think that they need to target 1 or 2 guys at the deadline? Personally, I think when he's at the DH, they're fine. I mean, maybe you get another arm in the bullpen, but what do you think? Do you think they need to pick up somebody on August 1st?
Well, that's going to be sort of a wait and see. They want to see when Harper gets there to see how things are going to go with him. Obviously, defense. I think he'd be fine. Harper's an athlete. They've been working with him and doing. He grew up as a catcher and a third baseman. Yep. He's played the infield before, but he hadn't been there in a while, and it takes a little bit. So they're working him pretty good over there to try to get him ready. And then, as far as when that sort of happens, who do they put in left? Why he's doing that? Are they going to stick with Rojas while he's up there, or depending on Pache how bad his injury is and how long it takes him to come back? Whoever steps up to the forefront, if they're doing the job and we're winning, why would you go do anything and do anything unless something presents itself, maybe in another position, they pull the trigger to get something. But, it could be a pitcher too, don't get me wrong, to make a difference because you never have enough pitching, if something happens. And we're still short. We got 2 of our main guys. We can't – we in our bullpen expect so it comes down to pitching. You never know about a starter that comes online that's got some experience down. When stretch time comes, that's had a track record of doing things and that won't cost the farm. And we got a chance to maybe do something with but it costs you something to get something.
Yeah,
sometimes
it always does.
That's a decision they got to make. Yeah.
We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green. Every Sunday we go on the mound with former Philly pitcher Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Tommy, the Philadelphia Phillies right now find themselves a game out of that third wild card spot, like you said, but you still got a lot of time left. But it's good to see. We were talking about the expression and emotion and the camaraderie. I wouldn't want to break it up. I wouldn't want to trade we were talking earlier about trading Alec Boehm for
Nolan Arenado.
Nolan Arenado, and I don't want to break up that chemistry right now.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said about that, about the chemistry, and if they can get on the roll, you leave it alone, But if they start scuffling, I mean, they're going to have to make a decision. What do they do to try to right the ship, get it going in the right way, that somebody in that lineup, kind of gets hot. If they got nobody getting hot, they might try to pull the trigger on something. But they're doing stuff right now. They went through this stretch here over the past week, the 10 days, where they didn't before with the All-Star break. They were scoring like 3 runs a game.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, and that can cost you when you're going down the stretch if you're not finding ways to push runs across and score, 4 or 5 runs a game. That makes a difference. And then the pitching's got to really buckle down and stay right where they're at. They're not giving up many runs, but it gives you a chance to win those games rather than lose them. You know what I mean?
Hey, Tommy, we have a text from one of our loyal listeners here at 97.3 ESPN. Dan in Egg Harbor Township asks, Tommy Green, is this Phillies team better than last year's team top to bottom? What do you think?
Good question.
Top to bottom. That is a real good question. Obviously, we're missing some power. I think, and you got to consider that. But they're a little bit different team because we're missing Hoskins, and obviously Harper is not as physically. He's getting there, but he's the production for his long ball is not. That's what I'm talking about a little bit too.
Yeah.
I think when they get healthy, not say because we're not going to have Hoskins, unless he shows up right at the end of the season or right during the playoffs. I think they're just they're a step short on the offensive side, the threat side a little bit because they haven't been the power numbers are not there. They're just a touch short, but that doesn't mean they're a bad team or worse. I think the pitching is starting to make up. They're pitching pretty consistent and doing things. Guys are getting the experience they need. Those young guys, that bullpen has stepped up and done some positive things and keeping us right there. So it's sort of equaled out. They're right there where they were last year. And what we talked about last year, it's about getting healthy at the right time. Some of their guys, we get them back. We're talking some of their pitching, and then some of your guys, we got on the DL. The young guys we're counting on, like Apache and stuff like that, and Harper getting healthy and getting out there, which allows us to move Schwarber and get him, get our defense right, which makes us a better team.
We're talking.
So those are the things that got to happen.
We're talking about former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green as we go on the mound with Tommy Green every Sunday. Tommy, today we got 2 righties. If they get the game in, 2 righties. Lugo against our ace, Zach Wheeler, 7-4 with a 4.05 ERA. What do you look to see out of Wheeler today if they get the game in?
Wow, he's due. I mean, he's due to put a good game together, and I mean, he's had a little bit of extra rest, so hopefully that kicks him back up. With extra rest, it comes with command. Hopefully he's not too strong. That first inning is a huge thing, not throwing too many pitches in that first inning, just his command being there and then getting it started like that. I'm looking for a positive thing, a little fresher Zach Wheeler.
Okay, Tommy, last week you and I spoke off the air. How you feeling, buddy? I know you had some health concerns. Everything all right?
Oh, everything's good.
All right.
I was beat up a little bit, between the dentist and the other stuff, the rib stuff. I felt like I was rode hard, put up wet, man.
Well, listen, man.
Everything's getting there. So hopefully I'll be able to get out on the golf course this week and test it out a little bit. We've got a big tournament I want to shout out at, the Mid-Penn Bank Classic for breast cancer in Hershey. It's a huge, very nice, very great event for a great cause.
All right, Tommy Green, as always, we really appreciate you, man. Well, hey, listen, I was driving down the alley in Ocean City, and I ran into the Summers brothers, and they said, we love the Tommy Green segment. So thank you so much, Tommy, and we'll see you next Sunday.
You got it, pal. Looking forward to it.
All right, there he is, Tommy Green on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. On the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green is brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Sign up now for the 12th annual Hero Walk and Run on the Ocean City Boardwalk Sunday, October 15th. Go to herocampaign.org to register today for the Hero Campaign's biggest fundraiser and to help them prevent drunk and impaired driving. That's herocampaign.org.